one and only Laila Ali, the daughter of the greatest. I'll rap to her in a minute. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Quite Frankly. My next guest is an apple who didn't fall too far from the tree. She had a father who could float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And with 19 knockouts and 22 professional fights, she's proven that she can do the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the youngest daughter of the greatest, Muhammad Ali, and a heck of a fighter in her own right, the one and only Laila Ali.
Thank you for being here. Now listen, I'm not going to belabor this subject, but I just got to get it out the way. And I got to start off because I'm just me and I'm going to be me.
That's what you should do.
How is a woman as fine as yourself boxing? What are you doing getting hit, potentially scarring up your face, messing with the beauty? That is you.
Well, you know, it's just in my blood, you know, and I think that's what a lot of people have a hard time understanding. A lot of people haven't accepted that I just love to fight. You know, it's just in my blood.
How long have you loved to fight? I mean, when you're beating up boyfriends and stuff like that?
I'm undefeated on the streets, too, just put it like that. Right.
What were you doing fighting on the streets?
Well, you know, being Muhammad Ali's daughter, people want to try you in high school, and I have a confidence about myself, and young people take that as in, you think you're better than me because they already assume that because of who my father is. You know what I mean? And the fact is, like, a lot of times, like, yeah, I do. You know, but not because of who my father is.
But did you try to hide the fact that? I mean, I'm quite sure there's a whole bunch of women that would want to beat you up just because you're fine.
But they can't. That's the bottom line.
Right. But they try.
They can't. I would like them to try. That's why they hate. You done had some people on your show that hate on me, and that's what they hate.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna get into that.
And I hope you do.
Oh, trust me, I'm definitely gonna get into that. Oh, no, you got to.
I want my time.
I'm sure you have all the time you want. Come on, you please. And it's not because you Laila Ali. It's because you are you.
All right, thank you.
But the point that I'm trying to say is that, you know, did people try to beat you up? Did they ever try to beat you up just because you were gorgeous?
No, I don't think so.
You didn't think so?
Nobody ever tried to beat me up, first of all, because most people who are bullies know who to bully. You know what I'm saying? It's always been that way in life. And I'm not, so there have been those people who tried to cross that line and they find out, oh God, not her. Now, there's 9 of us, and I'm the only one that has no problem taking off my shoes. My mom would say, don't stoop down to other people's level. And I said, I don't mind stooping down because I'm going to get back up afterwards. But my sisters, they would be like, oh no, my face. You know, but that's just not me. That's not
what was it about you that people knew not to bully you, not to mess with you? I'm talking about beforehand, before they knew who you were. What was it about your persona, how you
It's not about knowing who I was. You're talking about Muhammad Ali?
No, not at all. I'm talking about you as a woman. How did they know that?
People just know. If you walk down the street, you can tell who's confident. You can tell who's not going to take any mess. The first is just the way that you react, the way you carry yourself, it's your demeanor. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just takes a certain situation to happen for you to have to turn it up and let people know. So I don't really have a problem with that.
Well, you're an intelligent woman. I mean, when did you decide that you were going to fight as opposed to doing something else?
When I was 18 and I saw women's boxing on TV for the first time. It was Christy Martin. It was the first time a woman was ever on a major undercard. It was Christy Martin. She was on Mike Tyson's undercard, and I think that's the first time a lot of people saw women's boxing. So right when I saw it, I was like, I turned on the fight to watch Tyson, and here's these 2 women on the undercard. I didn't know who they were, and right then I wanted to do it.
I remember that. It was when Tyson came back against Peter McNeely, right?
I don't even remember his fight.
I think that was what it was.
Yeah, I was so into that fight, and I was with my friends, and I was like, I want to do that. You know, my close friends, they said, oh yeah, we could see you doing that.
They said that to you?
Oh, of course.
I would have dissuaded you again. It brings me back to, you know, Christy didn't look as good as you. She didn't have her face to worry about.
Looks aren't everything. Looks aren't everything.
It is in boxing.
What do you mean?
To some degree, when you're thinking about a woman boxing, Laila, I mean, look, listen, let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. If you know, you were my woman, you know, and you wanted to go into the ring, I'm sitting there, I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't decide what, because if you know you hit the body, that could mess with stuff. And if you hit the face, that's gonna mess with me. I'm gonna have a problem with that. So I'm trying to figure out, how you're gonna support that.
Well, the thing is this. Now, I don't know, a lot of people may know, I'm divorced, and my ex-husband was a fighter. So he understood fighting. He never really liked it. He was also my promoter, but he understood it, you know, so he was in the gym with me. But look, so we're divorced now, thank the Lord. And now I have a boyfriend, and he is not comfortable with
So what you gonna do about that?
Nothing. He's not
What you gonna do about that? You got a new boyfriend and everything, and you already, you're 22 and no, you got 19 knockouts. I mean, my goodness, you got your whole life ahead of you. What you gonna do about that?
Well, as you said, we have some things to talk about later in the show, and there's a couple people I need to do something about before I retire. Because one thing about me is, you know, just like with men and women, you know, men want to be with a beautiful woman. You know, may know she's not really about anything. You know, she's just beautiful.
We don't want to keep those.
They want to be with those just for the bragging rights. I like to whoop certain people just for the bragging rights. That's it. So
it's really like that.
It's like that. So there's a couple people out there. I know they ain't nothing, but the public seems to think they can do something. So I would never retire without taking care of these people.
Well,
we're going to talk about that.
I was trying to pause getting into that.
I'm sorry,
but let me tell you something right now. A girl by the name of Ann Wolf. You know, was on this show. She's an undefeated female boxer.
She's not undefeated.
I'm saying she's not undefeated. I apologize.
I'm undefeated.
Okay, you're undefeated. She's accepted defeat. No question about it. But she was right here on Quite Frankly a few months ago, and she talked about you.
Of course,
here's what she had to. She did get knocked out.
Y'all talk about me.
But here's what she had to say about you, Layla.
She's not just a champion. I have 8 world titles. Okay. So, and I'm not gonna say it's just because she and I are at the top of the mountain. Somebody got to come off. I think Laila's getting a lot of press because her father. I'm gonna take nothing away. He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. But give me my turn. I want to fight also.
Laila.
She didn't say anything we don't know.
Okay.
Okay, she has titles. I'm Muhammad Ali's daughter. Yes, it's true. I would not be where I am if my last name was not Ali. But I would also not be where I am if I wasn't whooping everybody that gets in the ring with me. Okay, they don't belong in the ring with me. You're gonna know it because it's gonna be a real easy fight. And on top, first of all, in boxing, what these women don't understand is, if I lose, okay, if I ever lose a fight, I'm not where I am because I'm undefeated. I could be 22-1. I could be 22-2. I'm still gonna get endorsements because my last name is Ali. Okay, and because I am a great fighter. So obviously, if you lose to another fighter, look at all the fighters that have lost before. My dad has lost. That doesn't take anything away from who they are. So what you just have to do is just give the person credit. You must be a bad woman if you whoop me. That's what I would do.
So you don't feel like she was giving you enough credit?
Well, she don't have to give me credit. I don't expect anybody to give me credit. What they don't understand is that I want to fight them more than they want to fight me. Because I'm not doing this like, I don't know if she said this on your show, but she does, you know, I used to be homeless, I got to feed my kids.
Yes, she did. She did that on the show.
I know. But so, who do you think? You are doing it because you have to. I am doing it because I want to. Would you be more? Who do you think is a crazier one?
Well, no.
That's all I'm saying.
Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. Actually,
what?
That's the wrong question to ask me, because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to disrespect this woman at all. I appreciated her being on the show. She seemed like a very nice person and a whole bit. But she did look a little crazy.
Intimidating.
You know, let me just be clear. She looked a whole lot crazier than you.
Well, you don't have to look crazy. Since when do you have to look crazy to be a great fighter and to knock somebody out?
Well, that's true, but I want to add something to that.
Yeah.
She has some like Arnold Schwarzenegger pythons.
Right.
The old, not the Governor Arnold, the old Arnold, the Terminator. She has some pythons on her. I looked at her and I mean, I didn't see you. I'm meeting you for the first time, but I looked at her and I was like, I'm a little worried about
that. Yeah, and that's great. That's great, you know, because that's what makes great fights. That's why I'm looking forward to that fight. I need, people want to see me in there with someone that they think is actually going to be competitive. That's what makes a good fight. That's what women's boxing is missing. Okay, if I keep getting in here with these girls, like for example, Christy Martin, I never was interested in fighting her. She was too small to begin with, but she kept asking for the fight. Then the public started wanting to see it. Then they offered me the right kind of money. So I said, of course, why not? It'd be stupid of me not to do it. Okay, so now, of course, you're supposed to save the best fights for last. Okay, so now Ann Wolf is getting some press. That's what we want. I want her to keep running her mouth. I want her to keep going on shows. I want people to get scared for me, so then they can come see this fight. You see what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm going to do. Now, if you see us sitting next to each other, you will see that she's a lot smaller than me. She's naturally smaller than me. You know, I weigh 180 pounds right now. I fight at 168. You know what I mean? Ann Wolf started at 154. I can never be 154.
Have you ever?
Can you imagine me being 30 pounds lighter, how skinny I would be? No, I'm saying I can never.
Layla, I'm a professional. You asking me to look at you, girl.
I'm a fighter.
I mean, come on. Now I'm trying to refrain and focus on the task at hand.
Well, you hear what I'm trying to say.
Right. But I got news for you, Layla. She didn't look that much small. I'm looking at you now. I looked at her. I don't remember her being that. I remember being shorter, not small.
Definitely. Well, because she's gone. Well, I was saying that she's naturally one. That doesn't even matter. Okay. The bottom line is that we're gonna try to make this fight for November.
This November.
Definitely.
And
yes. I'm not gonna sit up here and keep talking about her and me. We're just gonna get in there. We're gonna do it. Okay. But the bottom line is, like I said, people always will look at me and look at somebody like that and be like, ooh, I'm scared for Layla. Good, you know? But you have to understand, this woman, if you want to look at the facts, as I know you do usually, I don't know how much you really follow women's boxing.
I don't follow it that much, but I follow you.
But I'm going to tell you.
I really do.
But I'm going to tell you.
I really do.
I'm going to tell you that, you know, all I can say is that this woman has accepted defeat before to someone that I whooped twice, like she was my child, had 2 rematches with her, and struggled with her in that. But they look at me and think it's going to be so easy. So, of course, it's always a surprise when you're not mentally prepared and you get in there and you hit me one time and they think, okay, I'm going to hit her hard, she's going to fall down. I get hit hard all the time. All I spar with is men. You know, so I'm supposed to get in there and make a fight look easy. I'm supposed to look, you know, when I get hit, I don't really react because I'm used to sparring with men. You know what I'm saying? So that's great. You know, I can't wait. So we have any more questions? Enough about her. You're going to see that fight this year.
Okay.
You're going to see that fight.
I hear you talking. I know America looking at me like, what's wrong with you? That's right. I'm drooling over a beautiful black woman. I'm a black man. I ain't apologizing to y'all. I don't care how y'all feel. It's Stephen A. Smith. Quite frankly, I'm in the house with the one and only Laila Ali. When I come back, obviously, I'm going to continue to get more into her career, her famous father, and all the things that she's been accomplishing, you know, as his lovely, lovely daughter, I might add. Stephen A. Smith in the house with the one and only Laila Ali. I'll be back in a minute.
Everybody ready to fight.
I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
You want to be my Howard Cosell, don't you?
You're being extremely truculent. Whatever truculent mean, if that's good, I'm that.
And I'm coming there to give little mama a big beat down.
Feed him like I'm his daddy.
Do you realize I can whoop your ass? I shook up the world! I shook up the world!
Stephen A. Smith, quite frankly, I'm back in the house with the one and only Laila Ali, a champion, 22-0, 19 KOs. And I know we were talking about Ms. Wolf and how you're going to get in the ring with her in November, assuming.
I'm hoping November.
You're hoping.
I don't want her to hear that and be like, what, huh?
That's exactly how she would say it, too.
Huh? What?
She would do that.
No.
She would do that.
No, I know. Because I've seen it a million times. But what I'm saying is my people, just in case she doesn't know it, because I think they keep her in the dark, my people have been calling her people, and we're trying to make a fight for them.
Oh, y'all been calling her. It's not like she's been calling you. You've been calling her.
They can't call me. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, I'm not an opponent. You can't just call me and offer me some money. I'm going to make money regardless of who I fight. So I have to be the one to say, no, I want to fight somebody challenging. I'm going to Africa August 5th.
I want to get into that. That's exactly what I was getting
I'm going to Africa August 5th, and I'm fighting in Cape Town, and it's a part of an event in South Africa. They do Women's Empowerment Month in August. So I'm a part of this event that they're doing, and they're having a concert. You know, I mean, all types of things are going on. But basically, what I'm saying is that they don't care who I fight. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't take Ann Wolf out there, obviously. I wouldn't even ask because they're not going to pay her the type of money they need to pay her because they don't know who she is. And plus, I want the people here that have seen her on your show and heard all this talking back and forth to see the final result. So I want to save that and make sure, you know, but
talk about this tour a little bit. You're doing that. What's behind that?
Well, like I said, it's Women's Empowerment Month, and the proceeds from the fight are going to benefit Mandela's foundation, Mr. Nelson Mandela's foundation.
Right.
So, you know, I also have been, I've decided I want to start fighting in other countries. Like my last fight that I fought 8 months ago. It's been a while, but it was in Berlin. You know, my father fought in Europe, he fought in Africa. So since I'm going to go fight around the world, I might as well visit some of the countries that he fought in.
Culture's
you know?
a little bit different than
It's
America,
very
though.
different.
And I mean, I don't know how they're going to feel about somebody, especially somebody as gorgeous as you know, going out there, getting in the ring and, you know, fighting. I mean, they might not like that.
As long as they buy the tickets, once they bought the ticket, it don't matter to me whether they like it or not. But it's cool. They wouldn't, the people know, the promoters know, they wouldn't bring anything out there that, you know, they didn't think the people would like.
How does your father feel about it? I mean, obviously, I've seen him in some of your fights, and he's clearly very supportive of you, but how does he feel really genuinely about his daughter getting in the ring?
My dad doesn't think that women should fight. He definitely will be happy when I retire from boxing. I don't think that he worries about me on a daily basis because he has other things on his mind, but he definitely doesn't like it. You know, just the fact of me, my dad's Muslim, I'm not, but he is, and just me being in a sports bra and shorts in the ring, you know, dancing around the ring, he doesn't like that, you know, with all the skin showing. And then on top of that, you know, he just doesn't. First of all, my dad is very much into his name and everything. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. So he's just happy that I'm winning. He's happy I'm undefeated. He's scared, but he's happy. You know, every time at the end of the fight, he's the first one to come up to me and is happy, you know, and like, oh, she was tough. You know, oh, you're bad. You know, he has his little comments, but he'll be very happy when I'm done boxing.
Speaking of his name, you know, somebody purchased, marketing group purchased his name, the rights to his name. How do you feel about that? The fact that somebody else has the rights to your daddy's name, especially, I mean, I know that he's smart enough to make sure contractually it's going to be protected, and I know that you might beat him down the way you described yourself. So, I mean, clearly they're gonna act right to some degree, but how do you feel about that, actually, somebody else owning the rights to your father's name?
Well, there's so many different ways that you can look at it. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, you know, because that is my dad, but I do know that the people that did purchase the rights to his name are very good people, and of course, my dad made the decision on his own, you know, and he is going to make sure that his legacy is protected. So there are restrictions, there's things they can and they can't do, you know, so the first thing people look at a lot of times is like, oh, Muhammad Ali sold his name, you know what I mean? But
$50 million in cash, too.
And more.
Yeah, and more.
And they're going to be, you know, there's going to come a time where he's going to pass away, and somebody is going to be left in control of it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to leave it to the family member, because you know what happens with that, it becomes a mess. So while he's alive, I think that probably what I think knowing my dad is he wanted to make sure everything was going to be straight, you know?
You know, I want to read you a quote, just what you once said about your father in regard to his fighting style. I was interested in hearing your take on this. You said, quote, "My dad was the greatest, but boxing has evolved so much. He fought before a lot of the fighters had the excellent defensive skills they have now. He could get away with things you're now taught not to do."
Right.
What did you mean? Elaborate on that quote a little bit.
My father, a lot of times I'll watch old fights of his. You know, I look at him differently than everyone else does. I'm not taking anything away from him. I want to make that very clear.
But what do you, when
I see him, I'm like, God, look at him. You know, like I see him get hit with a hook and then get hit with a hook again and again and again. He was a sucker for a hook because he pulled back. You know what I mean? That's just not safe to pull back with your hands down, because if it doesn't miss, you're gonna get hit and you're already going backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Only got caught twice though.
Yeah,
right.
So he got away. That was my point. He got away with it. But nowadays, you know, someone's gonna feint you and then throw the hook. You know, so you pull back and they're already expecting you to pull back. So, of course, you can do things when people haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? But boxing has evolved, like I said. You know, people have studied, it has grown, and you know, you still can't take anything away from him because he was doing it before anyone was doing it. And if he was here now, he probably would have been doing something else. You see what I'm saying?
What does he think about today's fighters?
I don't know, you know, because my dad isn't really into boxing. He's not a fan of boxing. He never had. I'm not either. So
You're not a fan of boxing?
I'm not really a fan of boxing. I don't really follow boxing, the politics, everything behind it. Trust me, you're just
a fan of beating people up.
Yeah, I'm a fan of certain fighters. I'm just not the type that's just gonna watch any fighter. You know, if it's some garbage, I don't want to see it. You know, I want certain fights I want to see. So, but my father, I know a lot of fighters from back in the day just look at fighters now like they're just not the same. You know, for one, we fight less rounds. You know, we just don't work as hard. Getting paid so much money. Sometimes people are getting paid millions of dollars. They come into a fight out of shape. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it would have never been that.
What's your relationship like with your father? If you had to put it into words for the viewing public, what's your relationship like with your father? How would you describe your relationship?
It's hard to say. You know, me and my dad speaks without words, you know, a lot of times with his eyes, and me and him are so alike. Out of all of my sisters and brothers, I'm the most like him, so we bump heads a lot. You know, but he respects me on a certain level because he knows, you know, I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know, so.
Independence. You've been Oprah-fied.
Always. Oprah-fied?
That's what I call it. I call it being Oprah-fied.
Okay.
Last question. If you end up, I'm sorry, according to you, I don't want you hitting me. When you end up beating Miss Wolf and everybody else, I mean, I'm thinking about the next year or so, what have you, whenever that fight takes place, will that be your last?
No.
How many years do you have left in this industry?
There's about 3 girls that I really want to fight. Okay.
Name them. I want names.
Ann Wolf, who's we already talked about. Letitia Robinson, she's undefeated, a good boxer. I think she'll actually be a tougher fight than Ann Wolf because she can box. Then there's a Russian girl who's undefeated, and she's not ready yet. We're giving her a little more time, get a little more experience, go back overseas and make that fight. Anybody else in between will sprinkle in, a little good deal comes up, go out of the country fight, I will. You know what I mean? But other than that, what was the question?
I'm sorry, shit, you almost had me forget.
That was it, you know. I mean, so I'm just saying, and then, you know, I do want to have children, so hopefully we can move that along.
How soon?
I can't really say. I can't really say. I'm sorry.
Why not? You got a good man. You're happy.
You're right.
He's obviously successful. I mean, what's the delay?
You're right.
Why the brothers always got to wait all day, Laila? Why it got to be like that? Why?
I can't answer that question right now.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm fighting in November. I got a little couple things lined up.
Are you willing to at least admit that he will be the one that helps you make that decision as opposed to you making it independently like all the Oprah lovers of the world would say?
I don't make any decision independently when it comes to something that takes a man and a woman to do.
Okay. That answers my question. She shut me up. Go ahead. I know that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.